Hey grade ones, it's Mrs. Proby here with you again. We are going to enjoy a story that I absolutely love. It's called Tops and Bottoms. And there's actually going to be 3 activities that I'd like you to do with this book on 3 different parts of our week at a glance. So I would love for you to do a cut and paste activity where you're answering questions about the story, its comprehension, what your understanding of the story is. I would also like you to write a letter to Bear or a letter to Hare and give them some advice. And the last thing that I would like you to do, I would like you to ask people in your life, I would like you to ask 10 people in your life what their favorite vegetable is, and I would like you to make a graph of that. And also yourself, and then answer some questions about that. So you have lots of fun things to do with this story. If you need to listen to this video a few times, you can definitely do that so you can hear the story again. The story is called Tops and Bottoms, and it is actually a story about vegetables, and about how vegetables grow is a little bit what the story is about. So I actually want you to think about that for a moment. How do vegetables grow? And where is the part of a vegetable that you can eat? For example, the corn, does that part that you can eat, does that grow in the ground, or does that grow on top? A carrot is the part that you can eat, does it grow on top, or does it grow under the ground on the bottom? There's more vegetables here too, like a red beet. Where does the part that you can eat of a red beet, where does that grow? Underneath the ground, right? And celery, that will grow on top. So I don't know if you've ever really thought of vegetables that way. Oh, and I wanted to show you my shirt. It has a picture of lettuce and it says, "Let us be healthy." Haha, it's kind of funny. Anyways, where does the lettuce that you can eat, where does that grow as well? So something I want you to think about. Again, I hope you enjoy the story. It's kind of a cool book because I'm not going to read it to you like this. A lot of the pages go up and down. So sit back and enjoy. Tops and Bottoms by Janet Stevens. Here's a lot of vegetables right there too. Do you know all of these kinds of vegetables? Lettuce, radish, red beets, broccoli, carrots, celery, corn. Did I get them all? I think I got them all. Tops and bottoms. Now this is a cool page showing you how the vegetables actually grow. You can see here, this is where the dirt is, and the lettuce is on top, the celery's on top, but then the red beets are on the bottom, radish is on the bottom, carrots are on the bottom, the parts that you eat. All right. Once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was sleep. Looks pretty comfy right there. It's kind of cool, hey? Not far down the road lived a hare. Although Hare was clever, he sometimes got into trouble. He had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He had lost a risky bet with a tortoise and sold all of his land to Bear to pay off the debt. Hare and his family were in very bad shape. "The children are so hungry, Father Hare, we must think of something," Mrs. Hare cried one day. So Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. You can see the mom and the dad together and then all their babies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little babies. The next day, Hare hopped down the road to Bear's house. Bear, of course, was asleep. "Hello, Bear, wake up. It's your neighbor Hare, and I have an idea." Bear opened one eye and grunted. "We can be business partners," Hare said. "All we need is this field right here in front of your house. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profit right down the middle. Yes, sir, Bear. We're in this together. I'll work and you sleep. Huh? Said Bear. So what will it be, Bear? Asked Hare. The top half or the bottom half? It's up to you. Tops or bottoms? Let's see, said Bear with a yawn. I'll take the top half, Hare. Right, the tops. So Hare smiled. It's a done deal, Bear. All right, so Bear wants the tops, right? So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. Hare planted, Mrs. Hare watered, and everyone weeded. And Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the tops, and I get the bottoms." There's the tops. Now, what does that stuff look like? Tasty? Delicious? Scraps? Hare and his family dug up the carrots, the radishes, and the beets. Hare plucked off all of the tops, tossed them into a pile for Bear, and put the bottoms aside for himself. Now, who got the good part of this deal? Hare and his family, or Bear? What can you do with the tops of carrots and the tops of beets? Not much. Tops of radishes. I think Hare's a pretty smart guy. Bear stared at his pile. But Hare, all the best parts are in your half. Well, you chose the tops, Bear, said Hare. Now, Hare, you've tricked me. You plant this field again, and this season, I want the bottoms. Hare agreed. Okay, it's a done deal, Bear. So, Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family worked. They planted, watered, and weeded. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the bottoms and I get the tops." Do you think that he might have tricked him again? Remember, Bear gets the bottoms. Hare and his family gathered up the lettuce, the broccoli, and the celery. Hare pulled off the bottoms for Bear and tossed them and put them in the tops in his own pile. So there's the bottoms for Bear. Looks like all the roots of the plants. And here is the tops for Hare. He got all the celery and all the lettuce and all the broccoli. Smart guy. Bear looked at his pile and scowled. "Hare, you have cheated me again." "But Bear," Hare said, "you wanted bottoms this time." Bear growled. "You plant this field again, Hare. You've tricked me twice. You owe me one season of both the tops and the bottoms." "You're right, poor old Bear," sighed Hare. "It's only fair that you get both the tops and the bottoms this time. It's a done deal, Bear." So, Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded, and then they watered and weeded some more. And Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! This time you get the tops and the bottoms." There, in front of Bear's house, lay a high field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every corn stalk. Hare tugged off the roots at the bottom and the tassels at the top and put them in a pile for Bear. So he's getting the tops and the bottoms. Then he carefully collected the ears of corn in the middle and placed them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and watched. See, Bear, you get the tops and the bottoms, and I get the middle. Yes, sir, Bear, it's a done deal. By now, Bear was wide awake. That's it, Hare, he hollered. From now on, I'll plant my own crops and take the tops and the bottoms and the middles. Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road toward home. Bear never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting. Hare bought back his land with the profit from the crops, and he and Mrs. Hare opened a vegetable stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners again. That is the end of our story. I hope you loved it. Don't you find that Hare was so clever? It's really clever, hey? So I hope you have fun answering some questions about this story, writing a letter to Bear to give him some advice. What would you say that Bear should do? What advice would you give him? Or what advice would you give Hare? And then also, I'm looking forward to you asking family and friends what their favorite vegetables are and making a graph. Have an awesome day.